And he was born deaf and blind, but physically, mentally healthy. We call him our forever child, but that's okay. We totally love him. I get the opportunity of hugging and loving on him every day. I snapped my hand and he flinched, and I thought, he heard that. And what I realized later, because the next day we went and had the hearing test and he was deaf. The Lighthouse had swim lessons. The swimming lesson was just really impactful. He totally relaxed. They showed him to swim on his back. He's a strong swimmer. I really would have never known he could do that, except the Lighthouse showed us he could. We founded TouchBase Center for the deafblind, and we opened our doors in 2016.
Nice.
And next year will be our 10th anniversary.
A green tinted screen and braille lettering pops up that turns into the white Lighthouse of Houston logo. The Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art pops up on screen. There's a flash, then clips of Jennifer's eye, her walking down the hall, and reading braille appear. A montage of clips from episodes of the podcast begins with Jennifer talking to our guests and smiling. It zooms in on the Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am Jennifer Parrish, your host, and today we have a really special episode for you guys. Our guest is Vivecca Hartman, a dedicated board member for the Lighthouse of Houston and a parent to a child with vision loss and hearing loss. Vivecca has a deep connection with the Lighthouse of Houston and has been actively involved in various programs that have significantly impacted her family. So today she's going to share her journey and her insights and advice to assist other parents who are navigating similar challenges. Before we get started, we're going to describe our set for our blind and low vision viewers. We are in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. Our backdrop is a white brick wall. We have blue lights and a neon lighthouse sign. So Vivecca, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Could you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your family and then your connection to the Lighthouse of Houston?
Certainly. I'm an accountant. I work downtown, have for many years, was an auditor with one of the big public firms. And then after having my second child, Christopher, decided that being away from the family, what my husband called 6 months of the year, was just a little much.
Yeah.
So I moved to a local private company and have been there ever since, actually, for over 25 years. And my son, I have two children. My daughter is given us two grandbabies, which we totally enjoy.
Oh, wow.
They are 5 and 2. And then I have Christopher, who's our we call him our forever child, but he's just with us forever, right? Yeah. He's not going to move out and such, but that's okay. We totally love him. I get the opportunity of hugging and loving on him every day.
Yeah. How old is he?
He is 28 now. And he was born both deaf and blind, but physically, mentally healthy, just delayed through the years with his communication and access to information. And so his abilities to be independent are, not 100%. He's not able to live out on his own. He didn't have access to full education with information and incidental learning and all that type of things because of his dual sensory loss.
Sure. And you said to me before we started filming, and I want to hear this story.
Okay.
You said, because I was saying something about the wind outside or something, and you said that the wind aided you in getting his vision checked. Could you talk about that?
Actually, so just a moment ago, somebody was walking by us, and Jennifer knew because of the air.
That's right. It was.
And
how quickly I forget things.
No, that's okay. Yeah. My son was in a little car seat carrier thing when I came home from work one day, and I just walked up to him and I snapped my fingers. Oh, it was hearing, not vision, but hearing.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
I was like, do we really need to go get him checked? And I snapped my hand and he flinched, and I thought, he heard that.
Right.
And what I realized later, because the next day we went and had the hearing test and he was deaf, that it wasn't him hearing me, but it was the wind from my hand snapping.
Oh, wow.
And I almost didn't go. I almost didn't go get his hearing tested because I just couldn't believe that he was both blind and deaf.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So how has all of this brought you to the Lighthouse of Houston?
So when he was young, we used to, obviously seek all resources we could. And before he was even in the school system, he was a baby. the Lighthouse had swim lessons.
Yeah.
And so we thought we'd try it because it was an activity. We used to come here for the beeping Easter egg hunt that
Love it.
used to be on the open grassy knoll behind toward Allen Parkway.
Right.
And that was fun. So we met people there and kind of tried to be connected with our community. And when y'all had events, all the kids' events we used to come to, and the swimming lesson was just really impactful. He like totally relaxed. They showed him to swim on his back. I don't recall the person's name, but she was really, really good with him, and he loved it so much. It's really driven a lot of what we do. We've always been members to our neighborhood pool, but one time some boys were playing football and tossed it and smacked Christopher right in the face. And I was like,
yeah,
well,
that's a wrap.
maybe that's not safe. So we put a pool in our backyard.
Hey,
And-
there you go. Swimming
he-
all the time.
He loves it. He doesn't like it when a lot of people are there and splashing.
Yeah.
So, but he does. He's very independent. He's a strong swimmer, and I really would have never known he could do that, except the Lighthouse showed us he could.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what are his vision and his hearing like? Is there nothing of either, or is there like kind of a little bit of some?
Well, he has some light perception.
Okay.
And he has peripheral vision, which is really interesting. So things on the side of him, he can see. So if we're walking outside and he's kind of done walking outside and he sees a car because it's kind of big,
Yeah, right.
he'll like reach out like, let's get in the car. We're done here.
Game over.
Yeah. And then his hearing, he has a cochlear implant, but he doesn't use it. So when he was young, he did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that we could control throughout his environment, and when he would go to school it wouldn't be worn.
Got
and then
it.
we'd have it back on in the summer and then fight again when school started.
didn't
And by
wanna
the
wear
time
it.
he was 11,
Yeah.
that ended.
Yeah. Got it. So what are some of the programs at the Lighthouse of Houston that have significantly impacted your family?
Well, we have definitely enjoyed coming to all of the events when he was younger. We've also been part of another family organization and utilized the Lighthouse as a place to gather with that other group as well. And we've hosted some trainings here before, and these have all been very good partnerships, I guess. And so I was very happy when I was approached to be to join the board. And by being able to join the board, I was able to give back with my talent,
Yeah.
as an accountant and a CPA and financial planner. Numbers are very easy for me.
For you. Yeah.
So I'm
Nice.
happy to participate on the finance committee, and I did my 10 years, did a break for a couple years, and I'm back on as chair of finance committee and with the board again.
Very nice. So 10 total?
No, I think we're at 13 total right now.
Nice.
So-
Very nice. Well, I'm glad you've stuck with us. I've actually been employed here since 2000. So yeah, so you've
there
been
you
around
go.
as long as I have.
There you go.
Cool. And then back to the programs and the events that you attended. You said the beeping Easter egg hunt. And if some other ones, maybe you could talk more about that and how they've impacted your family, like as a whole, like as a
Oh,
unit.
yes. Bringing my daughter as well to the events. And then you guys had a wonderful, the crawfish boil we've
Yes.
always come with.
That was a lot of fun.
And I've been able to bring people from my work
Cool.
to the crawfish boil over the years. And that's been enjoyable to be able to share it with them because they also help serve the Lighthouse as investment advisors. So that's been nice to be able to bring them out for events like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do remember I helped raise funds for the deafblind homes that are in the back area now that are now being used for life skills training.
Yes.
And that was really exciting to be able to help establish something that was long-term benefit to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Those homes, they've done a nice job with them back there, and so we're excited to have them being used for the ADL activities now, and so that's a very cool thing.
Right.
Yeah. So, what are the biggest changes that you've seen throughout the years, and what are you looking forward to? About like regarding what's coming up at the Lighthouse of Houston.
Well, definitely there's been a change over the 13 years.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see a lot of the children's programs that have come back after COVID, because that was also a big impact to the community.
Definitely.
And the kind of the momentum of where we're going and trying to advertise and make everyone aware of all that the Lighthouse has to offer to the community. I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And it's very motivating to want to keep, advertising and spreading the word, I should say, about everything that's going on here.
Yeah, definitely. This is, we're like undergoing like a whole branding situation, and it's really cool to be a part of it. I've never experienced anything like this before, and it is so cool just to be like, we're new horizons.
And new products to offer.
Absolutely.
And that's exciting with new premium business opportunities coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll be all over that. So
right. And the fact that the Lighthouse employs so many people that have maybe not the opportunity to go and work in other places, or not, I should say more, that the Lighthouse creates an environment that encourages people to be productive and active and successful. And I think that's great.
Exactly. Like you guys can come here, work here, or we can I don't want to say groom, but develop your professional characteristics and get you ready for competitive employment. And so that's why we're such a beacon to those job seekers out there, and we're so happy that they come and get training with us, and then work with us, and then eventually they're like little birdies and they'll fly and
that's
get
great.
out there for gainful employment. So we love that, and so that's
wonderful.
It's a great thing. Yes, ma'am. So why are organizations like the Lighthouse of Houston so crucial in supporting families with members who have, vision and hearing loss?
Well, it really does give families an opportunity to come together and to meet other families, because otherwise there are not that many social events for people with special needs and their kids. And so families don't always get to meet other families like scenarios, if
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like sometimes a school might have something, but then there might not be another child like your child. So being able to come to the Lighthouse where it's a similar situation, you can meet other families with similar situations and challenges in daily living and be able to collaborate and talk about and say, well, what else do you know of? And well, where does your kid go in the summer? And what are you doing? And
network.
The resource sharing and networking and making friends.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I'll tell you, man, my parents, we moved down here from Western PA when I was a little kid. And there was nobody. And so they knew about like kind of putting me in the right school district and, having a visually, like the VI teacher and doing all this stuff. But like they never had anybody they could hang out with and bounce ideas off of.
Right.
So this is so cool. And we have this parents' night out thing now that we do. And so if I understand it correctly, that, they have the blind children here and they do activities and whatnot. And then the parents go get to, bond over either dinner or a ball game or whatever they do.
Right.
So
that's really, really nice.
Yes.
I've been so grateful and for those family opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, as a mom, I also think about the moms, not just the kids.
Exactly. I mean, because God, it's a lot to raise a child that's disabled.
That's right.
Or in whatever capacity. How has the Lighthouse of Houston created a sense of community and offered resources for families? Sort of the same question, but different.
Yes. So resources long term, there's also a lot of technology. I always try to promote the technology here.
Yes.
And for people to come try it and see what's out there, because again, like where else would you go to see some of these things? Like y'all have a resource room for people to try out and see different technologies that are available.
Yep.
And that's not something that everybody has. So that's definitely something to share. And then with all of the advocacy that the Lighthouse is doing, it's going to continue to grow and expand on its services and abilities to reach people.
Absolutely. Can you share how the Lighthouse has fostered a supportive environment for your family and for others?
I think it's kind of been the opportunity to come. So I have met friends here at the Lighthouse for children's events that I've stayed in touch with over the years. And then our kids, my daughter, has gotten to know the other kids' siblings as well. And so we've been in touch with them for 20 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so it's lifetime friends.
Yes, that's right. Because we might not if you click and you've got something in common and you see each other again, you just kind of stay connected that way.
Absolutely. What are the biggest challenges that you've faced as a parent of a child that's deafblind?
Well, I would definitely say the school system is challenging because they're not prepared for someone, especially with the dual sensory loss. And then, now that we're past those years, because my son has graduated the school system, and we did have to put in a lot of effort to partner with the school system. So we were very grateful to our school system for working with us. So that was really a positive experience. And now that he's graduated, it's kind of like, what are we going to do now? Because, one thing as a parent advocate, I was so focused on the school years when I was in the school years, right? And now that my son has graduated the school system, I've been on so many group calls and advocacy calls for different, directions that they're advocating for different things. And what the realization just hit me in one of these meetings, like, all that stuff we do for the school years, I know it's crucial because they are sponges and you've got to catch them when they're young and teach them all you can so that they've got it for lifelong.
Yep.
Then I was in this call about, what are we doing for the adults? And the realization is school years might be like 20, 22 years, right? But then you got a lifetime. Oh my gosh.
Afterwards,
you got 40 to 60 years afterwards to think about. And then how do you keep them busy and engaged on a daily basis when you no longer have school?
Absolutely.
And
so what do you do?
That has been kind of almost like overwhelming.
Right.
Right. So we have done a couple of things kind of along with the swimming thing. My family has made a commitment to doing whatever Christopher enjoys, and swimming is part of it. So we did a family lake house. Also, when I started having the grandbabies, we did it together.
Oh, nice.
So that he has swimming as an adult recreation and as a family recreation, so that we have the grandkids that can be with us and Christopher can do his thing and they can enjoy and we can all be together. And so that's been one thing that's kind of for our whole family as a pleasure thing. And then as we looked around when he's in that, transition age, you're supposed to go and meet all these other organizations and figure out what your adult lifelong plan is going to be. And so when we were doing that, we didn't really find a place that had much for deaf and blind. And we did consider coming here as well. The only thing is we didn't want him to be the only one.
Right.
Like he was in his school years. Right. Always and forever the only one.
Yeah.
And the idea of public education is FAPE, free, appropriate public education. So we wanted something that kind of met those parameters, that it was appropriate environment for him with people of his native language. And so for Christopher, it's a tactile language, it's sign language.
Right.
And so nothing existed like that. And so we did partner with another family that has a deafblind child, adult. She's 2 years older than my son. And we started a nonprofit. And this was after consulting with the United Way and many different organizations. And they kept saying, can't you just partner with another organization? Why do you have to start your own? And I said, I really don't mind. I would, but I'm not finding anybody that has what we are looking for. Right. So we did start, we founded TouchBase Center for the Deafblind. We filed the articles of incorporation in December of 2015. And then we filed for our nonprofit status and were approved in June of 2016. And we opened our doors in 2016.
Nice.
And so we are 9 years in, and next year will be our 10th anniversary. And it is for people that are deaf and blind. And the funding for it is primarily through the DBMD waiver through Medicaid. So it's a deafblind, multiply disabled Medicaid waiver that enables people that are deafblind to have a day program funding as well as an intervener. And an intervener is a one-on-one person that knows their mode of communication and deafblind techniques to help them bridge their gaps with the environment.
Got it. So can, and this might sound like a crazy question, but I honestly don't know. Like, can they have peer interactions and
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
I mean, so that can be facilitated.
That is the purpose of it.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay, perfect.
So there are about 10 people that attend, more so in the summer, throughout the school years, not as, some of them are in schools and still, so they go to TSBVI during the year, or
Right.
they go to a public school somewhere locally. And then we have more people attend in the summer. And it's so funny. The first year we opened, somebody was wanting to come that was school age. And we were like, oh, I don't know. And,
Right.
and then we realized, oh my God, don't we wish that we had a place like this when our kids were young?
Yes, when y'all were young.
So
Oh
we
my
could see
gosh.
what it would be like and see what an adult, a successful, healthy person could be like.
Yeah.
And so we just threw that out the window really quickly and said, of course, we're open to any age as long as it's appropriate for them, right? We don't want a baby that's crawling.
No, exactly.
That would be stomped on because our
Right.
kids can't see.
Can't hear them or see them. Yes,
Right.
exactly.
So it's been really great. It's been a wonderful partnership. And we've had teachers of the deafblind or VI teachers from the school system and AI teachers, hearing impaired teachers that have the auditory or HH, hard of hearing, come and volunteer in the summers, help us with plans and how to, adapt activities. And we've got board members that are from TSBVI's deafblind outreach team on our
awesome.
committee, on our board. And we've really partnered with the school, TSBVI, as well as Health and Human Services. They really helped us in the beginning, but we're pretty much on our own. Like we are sustainable and very grateful for the opportunity. And during COVID, one really interesting aspect, because they used to go and volunteer like Meals on Wheels and prepping the food for the hungry, to share like packages, and so they could fill the packages.
Right. So they could
do an
like
assembly.
basically do an assembly, like a kit.
Yes.
Or
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly.
Fill a bag, fill something. Yeah.
But after COVID, that was kind of stopped. So they had to come up with new ideas. And that's when we hired one of our coordinators, because she had a lot of woodworking abilities. And she's like, well, we'll just start doing wood stuff at TouchBase. And so her husband was a carpenter, and she learned to make things adaptable for our deafblind attendees.
That's
Like she
cool.
would pre-drill the holes,
Yeah.
and so that when the nail needed to go in, it kind of could already go about halfway. And then she and the intervener, she would help guide the interveners to teach them how to run the drills in. And we have videos of Christopher just loving the drill, and buzz,
Right. Oh,
So
absolutely.
that's really cool. So
I have the power.
yes. And it's kind of surprising. Like when they say again, like go get another one, he's like feeling around for the nail and looking for the next hole and putting it in and then reaching for the drill. So it's been really interesting how something so beautiful came out of that COVID experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're still doing it today because the kids love to do it. They also do sanding. They just made it very tactile and experiential so that they can participate in the doing of it.
It's so innovative to see how what unique sort of
Right.
stuff that folks can come up with to keep them involved and engaged. It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I really would say that the Lighthouse was, a role model in a lot of this for us because of the facilities here. The day program here just gave us a lot of ideas about what was possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Can you share any specific instances where you found that support and guidance was particularly helpful?
Yes. I would have to say that a lot of the determining what is possible and what's out there, and over the years with the different leadership here and the current one, just consulting what's out there and what's available has been helpful. And then I've brought people here that other people I may work with that they meet or they know, or their daughter's boyfriend is visually impaired and losing their vision. And so I've scheduled a lunch and people from here came and talked about resources. So trying to connect people with resources here and getting guidance for people that might not have otherwise realized it was available so close to home.
That's awesome. And then you talked about advocacy a little bit. So maybe elaborate a little bit more about how you're involved in advocating for for either your son or how you're involved with any of this?
So a lot of that started, as a parent, you've got to figure out what your child needs. And we didn't know. So we had to go and do a lot of, parent trainings. Yep. And for us, it was through Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, TSBVI.
Yep.
And they had their deafblind outreach that did host trainings for families. And so we would attend those. And I guess through that experience, I also did a parent training for how to become a parent advocate. And I didn't really know where it would go. I just thought I was learning how to ask for what my son needed in his classroom.
Right.
And it just kind of grew because we were part of a statewide family support organization. And we were asked to be on the board when he was 2. So my husband did the first 8 years because I was very focused with my son. And then we kind of swapped, and I started doing board positions with nonprofits, Lighthouse being one, and DBMAT, the Deafblind Multi-Handicap Association of Texas. And then when we started the TouchBase on that one as well. But to become a parent advocate, I remember one time being in my front room at the dining table with one of the people from outreach at our home, because they would visit our home whenever they would visit the school. And we were just talking about the things that Christopher needed. And I was like, oh my gosh, but it's not just Christopher. Any child that is deaf and blind is going to need these things. And we were just talking away, and she said, oh, you just sound like a parent advocate. And the first time she said that, I hadn't really heard the word advocate, and I didn't really know. I was like, is that a bad thing?
Right.
I did,
pushy?
And so I laugh at myself, like, of course that's not a bad thing.
Right.
As a parent, you have to learn those boundaries of where you have to go, because you won't have anything and your child won't have any services. And then if you have the ability as a parent to help a family with a newborn child learn or have access to something that you didn't until you've stumbled upon it 10 years later, well, yes, you want to be promoting it, advocating for it, encouraging it to grow and be there for the next 10 years.
100%.
Right.
100%. So we're about to wrap up our conversation, but for real quick, can you give us any info on TouchBase, like website, contact info?
Sure. We have TouchBaseCenter.org, and that's our website. We're also on Facebook, and I think they may even have an Instagram. I
Nice.
obviously
Right.
do that. The center at touchbase.org is our email. Or contact at touchbasecenter.org, is our email.
Okay.
And you can find us if you Google us or call me, we can get you connected.
Okay, so it's contact at touchbasecenter.org.
Yes, that's
Awesome.
our email.
Beautiful. All right, awesome. Because I want to get that contact info out there just in case anybody is seeking information regarding TouchBase. Very cool program.
Thank you so
very
much.
cool.
And honestly, as a parent, I'm happy to chat with any person that has a vision impairment, hearing impairment, or dual sensory deafblind. I would be happy to help any family and be connected to resources around the state. I do it all the time.
We love it, and we're thankful for that. So to finally wrap up our conversation today, do you have any tips or advice for parents of children with vision or hearing loss when it comes to finding support for their children or themselves?
I would say find an organization that's near you that you can go to, that you can participate in their activities, because it's when families come together, both with families and professionals, that they learn and feel part of a community, and then things can happen because you have support of each other.
Strength in numbers, right?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, it is truly inspiring to hear about all the challenges you've overcome and the love you have for your family and, your passion when it comes to giving back to the community. So we really appreciate you being with us today, and thank you for telling your story and Christopher's story as well.
Well, thank you for having
Shout
us.
out to Christopher.
Yes. And thank you for sharing and making this available so that other people can hear about all these neat things you find.
Absolutely. And we love it too. So thank you again. To our listeners, we hope you found this episode both inspirational and informative as we did. Remember, you can find more episodes of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Your feedback, guys, is always welcome, so keep it coming. We'd love to hear what you guys think of our podcast, so we'd love for you to also like, subscribe, and share, and comment when you want to, and let us know what you think. Be sure to follow the Lighthouse of Houston on social media for updates, and visit our website at www.houstonlighthouse.org to hear about all of the cool programs and events that we have planned. So until next time, guys, stay strong and continue to break those barriers.